Artjoms Uršuļskis, Deputy Foreign Minister from Latvia. Of course, for today, our agenda is quite full. We'll probably pay more attention to first two items, which is Russia's continued war in Ukraine and situation in the Middle East. As for the war in Ukraine, unfortunately, we see that the dictator in Kremlin clearly doesn't want to end the war. So our involvement in this is crucial. We need to continue pressuring Russia. So 18th sanction package, very important. And we should start to work already on the next sanctions package. I should say that shadow fleet should be one of the priorities, and also all the ways how we can lower up the Russian economy and lower up their opportunities to finance the war. And as for the Middle East, the situation unfortunately isn't still there in Gaza. So we see that three things should be done in order that situation changes to the positive side: immediate ceasefire, different approach to humanitarian aid, and of course the release of hostages. So therefore our efforts of European Union partners of High Representative are very important on that. Luckily we have the agreement on different approach to humanitarian aid, and our task would be to follow up and see that this agreement actually is working fully.
Will there be agreement on an 18th sanctions package today?
We hope so. There were still some small details our colleagues were ironing up yesterday, but I believe that there is nothing we can't agree upon, and hopefully we'll see the final agreement today.
Why do you see more impact? You said that some details are not agreed.
There are some small details about the economic impact. There are small details on that, but once again, there's nothing we can't iron up.
How will it be more impactful the
sanctions package? How do you believe it's supplementation facilitated by China?
The sanctions package?
Sanctions.
Yeah. So, of course, there are some players around the globe who are willing and to overcome sanctions and willing to help others to kind of have access. One of the good examples how we deal with that is what we do with the shadow fleet, which is very important for Russia. And it is not only about sanctioning the ships, it's also about the sanctioning the companies, and also about sanctioning the individuals and captains working on that, for example. And this should be our focus in the next sanction package, definitely.
On Georgia, yesterday Latvia issued restrictions
Yes.
against a few persons. What will be your position on this meeting, and which kind of proposals maybe will have Latvia also today, and your vision about this situation and these appeals?
That's true. 55 persons have been added to the PNG list. We unfortunately deeply regret what's happening politically in Georgia. There are several problems with freedom of speech. There are political opponents who've been held in prison or who have been forced to get out of the country. We will try to get as much support from our European partners as we could, because only a joint position and strong joint position could possibly work. We already have some communication with others. We have a group of like-minded countries which are quite huge, and we hope to get more partners to be vocal on that. We are vocal, but we need to have more strength if we want to have some progress with the ruling party in Georgia right now.
What do you think of Trump changing his mind on Ukraine? Do you think it's going to hold for long? What's your plans on this?
Yeah, well, we see a lot of communication from our transatlantic partners. Hopefully that the path will continue as it is, because for us it's very important to support Ukrainian military more than we support now. And from the latest developments, we see that there is a quite clear path towards it. Of course, the European Union should take and will take more responsibility financially, but we're clearly on the right path. And this is mainly because of engagement of Representative Kallas, of our prime ministers directly to the administration of President Trump, and we hope that this path will continue forward. Yeah.
Can you just say how exactly will the 18th sanction package be more effective than the last one?
Well, first of all, I believe the sanction package is much bigger than the last one in its direct impact. We have done a lot to have the Russia's sanctioned fleet, Russia's shadow fleet, sanctioned more than it was before. And we see that this brings a lot of money in Russian economy, and they finance war because of that. And this is only one of the examples. So I believe we can't compare it with the previous one, just because it's like much bigger than probably ever. And this is the main thing we need to do now, because sanctions work, but in the long term. And if we are capable to shrinken the Russians' economy, to make their exports lower than they are now, there is less a chance for them to finance war, and therefore we have opportunity on the ground. So, yeah.
About the situation in Syria.
Yeah.
What role does Europe play to protect the minorities in Syria, including Kurds?
Right. Probably the more direct and the biggest role of Europe is our sanction policy. You know that there have been quite extended sanction list in Syria, and we are quite reserved right now in changing the sanctions policy. But we can use the sanctions policy as a leveraging tool towards it. In our communication with Syrian government, actually, Syrian foreign minister was yesterday present at the Mediterranean Council. We always say that if there is a significant progress in human rights, if there is significant progress of peace inside the country, this is the way how we can discuss lowering the sanctions. So we won't do it if there is no progress, and this is our way how to do it. Because of course, for the countries in the Middle East, our political cooperation, the European Union, economic cooperation is very important, and this is probably our way how we do it. So, if there's no? Okay, last one, please.
Does Latvia have the same clear position on Israel-Gaza situation as Russia?
Well, just as I mentioned, we believe that three things should be done, and probably simultaneously if we really want to have a solution for the conflict. Ceasefire, much more humanitarian aid in the safe way, and the release of hostages. Of course, Israel has a right of self-defense. We remember how it started. This was the biggest terrorist attack after 9/11. But also, we clearly see that the humanitarian situation is dire, and it is not done in an effective way, unfortunately. So we need to address all these issues simultaneously if we want to actually see the tangible progress in that. We believe that there is no other way in that. But we keep the communication channels open both with Israel and both with Palestine, and also with Iran, because in the whole region these forces are quite destabilizing. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.